A very good afternoon to you. Coming live from Florida Cricket Oval. It is match day number 7 and game number 14 in the East African Safari T20 Challenge 2026. Proudly brought to you by Dafabet as premier sponsors. The umpires have made their way to the middle, tasked with the flow of this game will be Naluman Suresti in the black hat and Nampa Mujaklin in the yellow hat. Two budding umpires and officials under Mukono cricket community. But this encounter is between Mt.Kirimanjaro and Mount Meru. Mt.Kirimanjaro winning the toss, electing to bat first, and Openjimungu and Owiri make their way to the middle. Owiri in near shot there. First encounter of these two teams in this tournament, played on a double round robin format, home and away, and with the culmination of eliminators and qualifiers to determine who will contest the final. Live action will be coming up to you shortly. My name is Solomon Lubwama Chigozi to guide you through this evening. Mount Meru, the team in yellow and blue, now seeming to have steadied their ship after that heartbreaking one-run loss to Mount Satima in the opening encounter of this tournament. We are well into the second week, and while they claim that they were still discovering their chemistry, teams now taking on a definitive aura and structure, with the front runners being the men who are going to bat first this afternoon. Mt.Kirimanjaro with a perfect record, played 4-1-4, looking to make this another win on the bounce. The Kenyan international Brian Likavi with the gloves, shot number 8, had his debut yesterday, didn't disappoint, scored 69, but it is the first ball coming from the forest end. Mustafa Mutwalibi with the ball in hand. The Conrad Lubwama-led Mount Meru winning yesterday's encounter against Satima, avenging that loss. First ball of the innings. Ball to the body line of Robert Owiri, a man known for his power and run accumulation in this tournament. Had a failure yesterday against Mount Renzori. Going for paltry runs. Has threatened to score 50 twice, but falling short both occasions. 46 and 41. The left-handed Openji Mungu also off the mark. And the batting card for the Kilimanjaro side will bear the letter O as the beginning of the surname Owiri, Openjimungu, Ochen, Okwalinga, the House of Oz. Another failure for Robert Owiri, swallowed up by the man at cover point, Nasul Damadi. He will make that long walk back to the hut, having scored only a single run. He was yet to get going. Happy days for Mount Meru. Ball short of a length there. Tried to go over the man. Could only manage to direct it to him. Caught at the first time of asking. The joy and relief for any side that is able to prize Owiri out quickly. Something happened yesterday, but the middle order was able to shore up the innings, managing to hit 149 runs. But it is the young Julius Boji who makes his way. Boji turning out for Mukono Cricket Development side in the Cricket Uganda 50 and T20 leagues. A student at St. Cornelius Kalagala SS, just about 5 kilometers away from this oval, under the stewardship of former under 19 international Muhozi Edwin as coach. Good things are expected of this young man. Opportunity to catch again. 2 in 2, and it is a hat-trick opportunity. Trying to drive that ball on the up, could only find Handru Hajaguju at mid-off. Ali Shower there. Mr. MZ tries to play on the onside. That ball goes to the man waiting there. Very dejected Boji marks his way back to the hut. Golden Duck there. Played one. And it is a hat-trick moment for Mustafa Mutwalibi. What an inspired over from Mustafa Mutwalibi so far. 2 consecutive wickets. 1 to pick for the second hat-trick of this tournament. The first one going to Richard Sohera of Satima. Opportunity here. Ochen mindful to that one. Another dot ball. And it will be 1 ball to complete this first over. The runs and wickets equally matched at this point. And after 1, it is Mt.Kirimanjaro 2 for 2. And yes, you had that right. 2 runs on the board and 2 wickets back in the hat. A rebuilding job by Peter Ochen and Julius Openjimungu. Mustafa Mutwali giving his side a great start there. Changing equipment there for Openjimungu. Nasul Damadi, the man who had that first catch, tasked with bowling together with Mustafa Mutwalibi in tandem. He has had great lines in the tournament so far. Good control, deceptively quick. Likavi standing up, but that is 1 down the leg. The cries will come out as they look to increase the pressure upon the batters, but that ball clearly being played bat ball, bat pad, and they pick up another single there. Conrad Lubwama sends out long on himself, and he has a third man a slip is put into place. Another wicket to fall will see Mt.Kirimanjaro in serious trouble. Played well off the feet by Peter Ochen, and good running there. Comfortable 2 in the end. Opportunity drops in front of short covers, trying to play that ball on the rise, trying to go over mid-off. Quick single there to keep rotating the strike. Damadi doesn't have a dramatic gather phase, and only using his chest and shoulders to generate pace. Comes from some distance off, but let down by that final approach into the wicket. If he could put everything together, that slow run up, wide, but great glove work there from Brian Likavi. Had a 69-run introduction into the tournament. Well punched there through covers. Should pick up two, and they do. Some width on offer there. Not so great work there from the man. At extra cover, not chipping in that dive. Only looking good for the cameras in that shot. No dive. Left his counterpart hanging. And that boundary 4 opens the shackles for Kilimanjaro. Mutwali be extracting some bounce in this pitch. Ten for 2 after 2 overs. Great lines troubling the batters. No width to work with. Mutwali be maintaining right arm over to the left-handed open Jimungu. Brings in the galley fielder, but strays down the leg side. Openjimungu accessing the vacant cow corner region. That chase from the man coming off long on, unable to keep the ball within the ropes. Second boundary of the innings. That ball angling across him, able to whip it above. And 4 more there. And you find that Kilimanjaro, opportunity to catch, but over the head of Nasul Damadi there. Good running gives them 2 runs. But opportunities being presented now and again by the Kilimanjaro batters. After a stellar over, Mutwalibi Mustafa having some difficulties in this one. Just has to maintain the lines he bowled in the first over, where it caused Kilimanjaro all sorts of problems. Ball to a back of a length, Edgar Mudola under that one. And going for the Australian style of catching, well above your head. And he completes that catch. Openjimungu will bowled short of a length there, trying to hit on the up. Edgar Mudola almost making a meal of that, but keeping his eyes on the ball, the sun in his face, but completing that catch. 23 for the loss of 3 wickets. 33 runs for the loss of 3 wickets, I beg your pardon, with 1 ball to complete the 3rd over. And it seems Kilimanjaro are losing 1 wicket per over at this rate. What does the experienced Okwalinga Collins have to offer in this encounter? Mustafa Mutwalibi, 3 for 11, final ball of the over.
Yeah, Mtwalibi Mustafa has been the man taking wickets here for Mount Kilimanjaro. I beg your pardon, for Mount Meru against Kilimanjaro. 3 wickets already in his name. And as we come to the end of over number 3, 24 for 3 is the score. Mount Kilimanjaro winning the toss and opting to bat first, but looks like the decision is backfiring for them because they have failed to get going and they have failed to get the runs on board.
This is 2 games in a row whereby they are losing quick wickets in the power play. Something happened against Mount Renzori. They were under the pump, but the mid-order coming to the party, rescuing the side and running away from Mount Renzori to post 149. Are we going to see the same happening today?
I think having 2 players who have both played for Uganda under 19, Collins Okwalinga and Peter Ochen, is a great opportunity for Kilimanjaro to look for recovery. Look at how that one is driven down the ground for another single. This will have to make sure that they keep together and score runs as much as possible for Mount Kilimanjaro, for them to get something very respectable.
Collins Okwalinga always the stabilizing force every time he comes in. He's come in when they need runs and gone on to accelerate the run rate, and now tasked with the rebuilding job, doesn't try to go for the spectacular.
Four off 7 for Peter Ochen. A little short, that was the ball to hit, but he just gets it into the gap. They will only take a single, but you feel like there was a chance of them picking up a double.
Okwalinga not wanting to risk it. That ball was in the hands of the fielder, and a good call there. We've seen needless runouts throughout the tournament. People trying to chance the arms of fielders.
Nasul Damadi bowling it a little too full. You don't do that to Okolinis Okwalinga. Okwalinga just making sure that he aligns up it very nicely, and he picks up another boundary here for Mt.Kirimanjaro.
Hitting it on the up there. All the power behind that shot. Another boundary there for Mt.Kirimanjaro. An opportunity for Okwalinga to bat and bat deep. We have seen in the morning encounter Paul Meru coming in and play all the 20 overs for an unbeaten 51.
Yeah, he scored a really well-crafted half century. A bit disappointing that he didn't help his team to win. They were a bit sloppy in the fielding.
And in contrast, the captain for Mount Elgon, Emmanuel Tijuche, with a play of match performance, also getting a 50. Great contribution there. I think he faced about 16 overs. So people now realizing that when you stay on the wicket, the runs will come.
Yeah, it is a great plan there. Stick on the wicket and you will find the runs. That one for 3, the projected score reading 162. Will be very defender if they do get there. That was 2 loose there from Nasul Damadi, and down the leg, wides. Standing umpires this afternoon, Nampamu Jacqueline standing alongside Narumans Reste. Backwards there for Damad Nasu. Not sure what he is executing, but you feel that Peter Ochen has not been looking so comfortable hitting on the onside. So when you got the balls angling back to him, you can easily pick something out of nothing. And now Nasu Damad will need to looking at focus, putting it on the fourth stand. When the ball angles in, it keeps those wickets into play. Gets one angling away from him, and it is a dot ball. Brilliant there from Nasul Damadi. Bring us to the end of the over. 33 for a loss of 3 wickets is the score after 4 overs. There is a bowling change there for Mount Meru, and it is the captain Conrad Ruwama who is into the attack. That's sliced away by Collins Okwalinga. And it is another single they are taken. The Simmers have done a good job. Mutalibu Mustafa bowling from that forest end and picking up the 3 wickets that they do have as a team. And he was well complimented by Nasul Damadi. Nasul Damadi bowled the 2, went for 21. But now the bowling change coming in. Luwama Conrad, they are struggling to find his line and rhythm. It was traveling a little quick and not really held by Conrad Luwama. He looks to have injured his fingers in the due course of trying to stop the ball. Receiving some bit of medical attention there, Conrad Luwama, trying to get that ball which was traveling back to him. That is hit all the way, and it goes for a maximum. Collins Okwalinga taking some bit of liking to the bowling of Conrad Luwama. Luwama Conrad there still trying to find something, and it is the final ball of the over. He will have to bowl it again, going down the leg and not managing to execute it so well. It is a plan, a good one, to bowl to Collins Okwalinga and Peter Ochen to the pads, because both of them are not so good at whipping away. So every time you keep it in that area, you stand a very big chance of picking those dirty balls. Pace off, and it is a dot ball, bringing us to the end of the over. And 5 overs have been bowled. The scoreboard reading 43 for a loss of 3. Okwalinga Collins and Peter Ochen doing the rebuilding job. And here in the commentary box, I'm joined by Jimson Wankona, a player for Erigon in this tournament. Jimson, good afternoon and welcome to the comms.
Good afternoon, Ivan. Thank you. I'm so glad to be part of this tournament. As it stands, 43 for 3. After 5 overs, I think it's a good way in the power play. So far, though, 3 wickets down.
And then Nasul Damadi returning into the attack. He has bowled 2 overs and he's gone for 21 runs, but we'll be hoping that he can continue bowling well. That is the line. Force him to play on the offside. And it is a dot ball. Longo on. And the fine leg, the fielders. Beautifully picked up there by Peter Ochen. A little too full and right. Glorious off drive, bringing up another boundary there for Mt.Kirimanjaro. much better line there. He's bowled it to the middle stump and the ball has gotten angling away, making sure that Peter Ochen cannot free up his arms. And because Peter Ochen is now hitting front of the square, fine leg has come up and now long off is down. So long on and long off are the two fields that are being used in this final over to complete the power play. Too short, and you look at that intent there from Peter Ocheni. So it was short to the pads. He wanted to make sure that he hits it into that vacant area towards deep mid wicket. He's gone pace off. Peter Ochen looking to be in a very good shape, but it is a dot ball there. He doesn't pick up the length very nice. Two more balls remaining in this over and to complete the power play of this game. Another one down the leg and it is wide. Nasul Damadi not maintaining that good line and length, and is becoming a little expensive for the side.
I wonder why Nasul is going down the leg. Because it's better to keep them playing forward. You have two men outside. It's better to keep them play forward rather than giving them up their arms to play leg side.
Yeah, he will need to make sure that he bowls outside off stump, force them to play on the offside. That's much better. It is gotten off the hip, but it's not a bound and it is just a single. You feel that when they are conceding singles, they are not going for quite many, and it is a very good plan there.
Calling Collins, being an experienced player, he has to keep taking the board so that it keeps the team on the fight still.
Into the surface. Not putting the body, his line there, Timothy Matovu, and they take the single. Well, that single brings us to the end of the power play. 50 runs coming up inside the first 6 overs, and after 6, 52 for 3 is the score.
With the run rate being at 8.67, you look in and say it's not bad for them. Might be losing 3 wickets early. One of Willie Robert being the opening batsman was left early, but I think they have pulled back the sockings and they are trying to keep on rocking.
Conrad Ruama there will be returning to bowl his second over. He bowled one right inside the power play, and now he will be coming to give another over. Now Conrad Ruama still continuing from the forest end, but now they have failed to break this growing partnership between Collins and Peter. And that's a single they are taken. Beautifully driven there through the cover. Collins Okwalinga somehow angling his bat, but they will do run quickly and come back for a double. Power there from Collins Okalinga straight down the ground. It is a maximum. Look at how he rocks back on that one. Finds it into the gap, and it will pick up the fielder there, right in there in Eric Muksaba. That is brilliant work there from Okwalinga. Down the leg and not held by the wicket keeper. It is a wide and a run, 2 wides. Now runs are coming thick and easy.
I don't know.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
I don't know why Rubama Conrad is putting pace on. I think he could pull up that pace and allow them use their energy to dump those balls out of the park. There. Or board or a misfield. And they calls for 2. Good running between the wickets. That brings in 68 after 7 for loss of 3.
A nice looking passage of play now for Mount Kilimanjaro as they are now continuing to find the runs. 3 wickets fell in a flash, all of them being picked by Mustafa Mutwalibu. But now the rebuilding role is on, and the 2 statesmen current at the crease, Peter Ochen and Collins Okwalinga, they're making sure that they push Kilimanjaro to a slightly bigger total, one which will be respectable for the side. We saw the upper hitter Robert Oli not getting out of the blocks, but they have a long batting lineup, so they will keep making sure that they can milk the runs.
If I can say, Collins Okwalinga is an experienced player. He can take charge and lead Mountain Kilimanjaro to at least a good score. And then Peter Chen is a good all-rounder, can bat and still use the ball, so can still give them a credit that they can push the score to over 130 or 140, which looks to be quite not bad, though the game of cricket is of 2 innings. You have to bowl and then come and bat, so let us just keep our eyes on and see how it ends. Mountain Kilimanjaro or Mountain or the other Mountain Meru side. So we are still here at Florida Oval, and the weather looks to be fine for cricket.
Bowling change there for Mount Meru, and it is Matov Eric who is into the attack. Oh, that is a sliced away, and it runs away. The fielder trying to give it a chase. The batters, the fielders, they are not communicating anyway. And the comment of errors between Mwaga Arthur and his partners, they push that one out. what could have been saved is a boundary four. Look at the mess that they have done. Both of them getting close, trying to save the ball, but not communicating whatsoever. And in the end, they had to collide and get that one out of the playing area. It is a boundary for Mount Kilimanjaro. There was some with offer there by Eric Matov on that ball, and Peter Ochen just guiding it with the bat down to third man. But now third man has gone down, starting right from the boundary. Matov will be looking for the nipping back balls, slashed away, and work there for Daniel Mhumza to do. It is only a single. Well guided, and it is another single there, added to the total by Mount Kilimanjaro. The rebuilding there for Mount Kilimanjaro is underway. Gloriously driven, straight long off, and it is a single.
That is part of the tennis strengths. And come forward and back that ball. One on the ground and ball over. I think they need to go that length a little bit back. Force him to other shots. But there you keep on going.
Yeah, getting it hung away from Okwalinga. Okwalinga trying to hit out of the blocks, but he misses. Good work there from Matov Eric, making a shift and stopping that one. It is a dot ball. Bring us the end of the over number 8, and the scoreboard reads 72 for a loss of 3 wickets. And now an interesting field set up there for Nasul Damadi's return. Extra cover, long on, cow corner. Long off also being dropped down. Tries to drive and he misses it.
I think even for the keeper being up on the wickets now, Shane is fearing to play forward.
Yeah, good lines. Oh, it's a little outside of the trim lines, but it was a good idea Because Peter Ochen is not so good with the cut shot. He's so good with the driving. He's so powerful in front of the square. So when you bowl that area, you stand a very big chance of picking up many dirty balls.
Obviously, because he's only good at playing forward.
He misses his line and is hit down.
Oh,
Peter Ochen going all the way, and he manages to bring up a maximum. What a glorious way of picking up that length and scoring a maximum.
good shot from Ochen Peter. Taking him to 20 of 23. I think it's now his time to accelerate, having spent some time on the wicket.
We will be hoping he can continue bowling that hard line and length. But what a shot there from Peter Ochen, just getting it and guiding it backward of the square all the way for a maximum. Peter Ochen doing the Peter Ochen things. Replay there, still a bit into the surface, but the way he picked up the length very nicely there, Peter Ochen had to send that one all the way for a maximum.
Some of the highlights so far of the inning, and that was a good shot. That was the catch taken by Mudora Edgar. It was a good catch to watch. That's when Kwaringa Collins came in and Pierce took covers. They dumped that one for 6. That was Peter Ochen.
Much better. That appeal has to go in vain because that ball was off the bottom edge of the bat there by Peter Ochen, and it is a dot ball. Brilliant lines there being bowled by Nasul Damadi. Another good placement there from Peter Ochen. These statesmen all making sure that they keep milking the runs. Try and see their team go past that victory line.
No wonder the current run rate goes to 9.2. I think it's a good way to go.
Misses again, and it is wides. 2 wides there added onto the total there. Nasul Damadi not managing to maintain the good line and length. A little expensive in his last over. A maximum, 2 wides, a single, 2 more balls to play in the over, and now this is already looking to be a very, very good over. Hit, and it will only be a single, but good rotation of strike there between Okwalinga and Ochen.
They are making everything to look simple with the bat, and now the pressure is on the fielding side as the partnership has kept on rocking.
The issues have been the whites that have been bowled by Nasul Damadi. 3 whites there to the total. He's failed to maintain the good lines and length. What looked like a very good start for him when he was bowling in tandem with Mustafa Mtwalibu opening the bowling has not really been manifesting in his last 2 overs. Coming in for the final ball of the over, but look at the total runs so far in the game are 86, and this guy has gone for 44 already. With that single making it 45 runs, he will go for in his spell. Wicketless spell and very, very expensive. But that single will bring us to 88 for 3 as we come to the end of the 9th over.
Sudaman has been traveling today. Batters have not had mercy on him, and still the bowling angles going a lot of extras. And he has kept the score to 87 for 3 after 9. This Mt.Kirimanjaro in a good position with more wickets outside. So I put the projected score to 190 to 200. Would not be the highest score of the tournament so far.
Yeah, but the current passage of play clearly showing that Mt.Kirimanjaro has found a way of fighting and starting to punch back. They are now making sure that they find the runs, try and make sure that they pick up the victory. Peter Ochen with his 20 of 26 and Colin is calling away 31 of 18. These two really are doing the rebuilding job, and look at the projected score now showing 193. The past score is around 130 despite the morning game. Mountain Karisima failing to defend 123 because of the sloppiness in their fielding. And now we see Eric Matov returning to bowl. His first over went for 7 runs, and now he will be returning.
Single Collins trying to hammer that hard, but only picks up a single.
Driven down the ground, another single. Somehow these two batters, Peter Ochen and Okwalinga, they are making sure that they continue getting the runs, getting into the gaps and making sure that they keep milking as many as they can.
They have made it simple by keeping the ball ticking, and that's a good sense of cricket.
Fall right in the arc there for Okwalinga, but it will be well fielded by the captain there, Conrad Ruwama, right at long on. Hit away and should be a boundary past the extra cover area there, slicing it through the cover area, and he manages to pick up another boundary.
Peter Chen can pierce that cover area as long as you come full. That is strength. So I think the bowler is out of his mind, not knowing where the strength of Chen is. I think the captain must talk to him and tell him to pull back that length.
Chance to catch, put down there by Daniel Mhumza. What it could have been a run out is also not completed, but this will be a moment for them to regret. Clearly that was a very easy chance to be taken, but Mhumza Daniel not getting hold onto it.
It was so easy, like eating matoke here in Uganda, but Mhumza puts that down, and I think Ochen is like, ooh, my Jesus is back to myself. I think he'll pick up from there and go hard and hard and hard. As we say, once they drop you, the next ball should be dumped out off at the park. Wide. What a good take from the keeper, Brad.
Final ball of the over there to come in from Matovu. Beaten by the pace, but that ball going down the leg and not out is the call from the umpire. End of over number 10, and 96 for 3 is what they have on board. What a way to recover in this innings.
Okwaling has been a vital player for Mt.Kirimanjaro in all situations. Whenever there is a fall of wicket, he has been coming in and keep the team scoring with his experience that he has. And that's what we want to see from such players that have played the good cricket for a number of years. So we don't see anything new from him that has changed for over a long. That's his game, and he likes doing that.
Yeah, we will be seeing a bowling change there for Mount Meru. And it is Hajuguju Andrew who will be coming into the attack. He bowls it slowly, so he will be making sure that he can keep hitting those good areas there for his side. And now when you look at the field setup, it will be interesting because they will be trying to attack. Now we see Longo on, Longo off, cow corner, deep mid wicket and extra cover. All the 5 fielders being deployed there by the captain Conrad Ruwama. Ajuguju into the attack. Has driven down the ground, and it is a single. The way he bowls, he entices and induces the batters. Half dive coming in from the field that covers, and it is another single. Beautiful passage of play here. They have made sure that they continue milking the runs, and they are somehow finding the good placements. Much better there from Andrew. A ball I would feel that they would hit is now not going for many.
Batters are figuring to find out hitting Ajuguju's balls, and he has kept the ball on the man, and it's a good bowling from him. I didn't expect this to come out of him.
And now you feel that the only issue he has been having is that the fielders are not really giving him the backup he would have loved to have.
Yes, Ivan, I can see that. By that angling where he's releasing the ball, look at that.
Yeah, he loves flating it a bit to make sure that
arm angle always gives the batter some difficulty in playing such balls, and he has kept it on the offside and creating no room for them to go on the leg side.
He's going away with it.
He's not bowling so full.
One more to play in the over. A bit of an inside edge there from the blade of Peter Ochen, and they will take a single. A good over to start off here. 5 runs in it. And as we come to the end of over number 11, the 100 runs have come up. 101 for 3 is the score.
After 11 overs for 3, I think still more than 200 is in a good shape.
And with that total, We'll take a short break here from the comms, replaced by Solomon Luwamachigozi to take you through.
Thank you very much, Ivan. This match evenly poised. 101 runs for the loss of 3 wickets after 11. You felt that at the beginning with those quick dismissals in the power play. But like we saw yesterday, Mt.Kirimanjaro rallying themselves and being able to put scores on the board.
Change in the bowling side, or a change in the bowling, and could be Edgar Mudola from the Lord side coming into attack. The score stands at 101 for 3 after 11.
Mudola hasn't done so much bowling in the tournament. Very good in the field there. See him running about, taking his catches. But now I think this is the first opportunity he has gotten to bowl in this tournament.
He's a part-time bowler. That's off spin. I don't know how it's going to go down with it. The partnership of bowling now and being settled in.
Just needs to bowl those good areas. Try to attack the stumps as much as possible. Don't bowl similar balls. Try to vary your angles and your lines, and then you will cause some problems. Return there from Okwalinga, and it is another dot ball there.
Yeah, Edgar Mudola is an experienced player in this side of Mountain Kilimanjaro, so can read the situation and bowl accordingly so far.
Use of the feet there from Okwalinga. That ball kicking off the turf, almost managing to find Gully. Drops Hamley there. Gets off strike. Peter Ochen trying to make amends for yesterday. Also scored lowly, but trying to carry his bat throughout this encounter. And you see those fielders going round the ball, but not capitalized on by the two batters out there.
Mudola has made it easy. Has not allowed them to free their arms. He knows they are good at stepping forward. He has put the length back and they are trying to struggle to play him. And as you can see, Okwalinga has edged and Ochen has just raised the bat.
Powerfully struck on the back foot by Collins Osio Kalwenga. I love the fact that he loves playing on the ground. Proper classic shots.
But I can go with Mudola, trying to put that length back. Let them play forward. See like that. Chen has loosened his shape. Saying I would have taken that one straight into the screen, but he picks up a one off an inside edge. The score stands at 108 for 3 after 12.
Plenty of overs to play with, 8 in particular. Projected score now being projected score now being 180 runs. That would be 50 runs above the pass score of the Oval. It had a tough day there out for Mount Meru in the field. Andrew Hajaguju continues from the forest end.
I've liked Andrew Hajaguju's angling. He has given the batters that time to attack him. I want you to watch that. They are catch and dropped. I think you can see. And there is a run out here. Okwalinga finally gives it out after being dropped and then run out at the end. Thinks This is what Mountain Meru has been looking for, to pull themselves back, because the partnership had grown and it has consolidated well.
Collins Okwalinga departs for 39 in 27. Survives a catch, but then is run out. A good innings, you would say, to consolidate the innings. Came in when they were well below the 100 run. As we have another look at that effort.
A good wake-up call from the keeper, like a quick reaction from the bowler, and then a quick stamping there. Yeah, obviously it was out. But look at how Ajuguju is angling in that ball there. A little bend of the arm, and then finally picks up that wicket. They have been looking for it. A good way to go.
Okwalinga was trying to run away from the crime scene, but good awareness, as we have youngsters in the nets training, working on their shots, and you could have seen a couple of them on your screens of this tournament. East African Safari T20 Challenge, brought to you by Dafabit, Deep End Sports Media, Mukono Cricket Community, Cricket Uganda, four balls still to come in this over.
He makes it simple.
No follow through whatsoever with this action. He will bowl the ball, stay in that crease, the non-striker's end. But that ball difficult to be put away. You have to have a keen eye and line it up well.
You hit him, you hit me. But Shane Peter is also like, no, I need to stone the wicket. Good bowling from Ajuguju here, with just 2 wickets, 2 runs and 1 wicket in the over so far. And he has put back Mountain Meru into the contest. End of over 13, with the score bay standing at 109 for 4. The current run rate is almost 8.9, 8.8. Projected score is now 1.168. Eddie Gamdola comes back into the attack from the Lord end.
Bowls it into the surface, quick, back of the length there. Extracting some bounce, which is troubling the batter, and back-to-back dot balls there.
I think this is what Mountain Meru needs now, keeping the new batsman on the strike, and then keeping Otieno Peter off the strike to try and pull it back into their interests.
played to the on the back foot over the head of the bowler. Safest place there. Tidy over so far.
Mountain Meru is trying to pull the game back. The score stands at 1-1 for 4. Oh, dropped chance.
Good fielding from Andrew Hajaguju in covers. That dot ball completes the over. Only 2 coming off that Edgar Mudola over. Good figures so far. Has bowled 2, only conceded 8. The score is 111. The Nelson for 4 after 14 overs. 6 more overs to play with for Mt.Kirimanjaro to put this game further and further away from the reach of Mount Meru.
The good thing with the cricket is a game of 2 innings. You have to bowl and then come to bat. Back into attack is Ajoguju, Andrew. And he has bowled so far well, conceding just 7 after 12 overs. And I hope he continues. A wide.
Going just slightly beyond the tram lines there. Andrew and had a pretty spell so far. And that release quite low. So bowlers unable to play him on the up.
There is a way Young was in his arm, and it looks weird, but batters are struggling to play his length. Another dot, and this is what Mountain Meru needs to keep Augustin on the strike. And Ochen off the strike. Another dot in the covers.
Great comeback from Mount Meru with Mudola and Hajaguju bowling in tandem, cutting off the boundaries that have been flowing, and they feel that with Okwalinga back in the heart, left with Ochen to navigate, if they can pick him out quickly, what opportunity for a return catch. Dropped by Andrew.
That's what they call another second chance for the batter, and I know now Ochen will be like, I have to retrace these chances they have given me. No, I expect him to go hard after that drop, but he's thinking a lot. Now they have entered in his head and he's struggling. So now to take decision is either to go hard or to keep himself on the wicket.
After 15, it is 114 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. Peter Ochen dropping anchor. 37 in 43. New man in is Augustine Mujuni. We see the return of some pace in the bowling innings Eric Matovu coming from the highway end. Quick full toss there. Non-dispatched away by Augustine Mujuni. Good catch there from Brian Likavi. Going to one end, but sticking out his arm. And that ball dropping in those mitts. Attacking the stumps there. What a catch. Young man. Receive all the applause that you deserve. Great comeback now from Mount Meru. That catch looking beautiful from wherever angle you are looking at it. That shot is all hands from Nathan Mupere. Has great wrists there. Will play swiftly. Any ball beat on the offside or leg side. Did damage yesterday against Frenzori. This time round, that ball going beyond the diving wicket keeper. They pick up two. Matovu squares his man up. Ochen trying to go for the big one. Losing shape while he's trying to play the on drive. Great contest there between Matovu and Ochen. By runs at the end of that over. 118 for the loss of 5. Projected score now dropping to 148. Ochen 14-46. Mupere 1-1. And great passage of play there from the men in yellow, Mount Meru. roaring back to stop the blades from flying. Chen and Mupere would love to put the finishing touches, the flourish to this innings. 12 away from 130 pass score for the Florida Cricket Oval down here in Kokonjeru. But Andrew Hajaguju will bowl his last over. Starts off with a short one and pulled strongly over cow corner. Adopting the fifth stamp line there, Andrew Hajaguju. But that ball being short, deposited past the boundary rope. Opportunity there to catch the men coming in from the deep. Should keep that to only two. Great running there. Run out. Direct hit. Great action from the man in the deep. And Ochen falls 4 short of his half century, trying to manufacture a second run there. Andrew Hajaguju involved in the thick of things, swiped to covers the nowhere near the frame. Peter Ochen, despite trying to slide his bat, one bounce, two bounce onto the wicket, direct hit with Ochen. A brilliantly crafted 46 and 47. He will feel hard done by with 4 short of a half century and with overs to play. The dugout for Kilimanjaro. Huzaifa Adam, the new batter in, is more of a bowler. Now well into the tail end. Will get off the mark with that one. Plays well off his feet, Mupere. A Skyer and catching opportunity for Edgar Mudola. Quick running there from the batters. And a good spell there from Hajaguju Andrew. 22. Picks up no wicket. An economy of just above 4. 130 for the loss of 6 after 17 overs. Mustafa Mutwalib replaces Matovu Eric from the highway end. Death bowler, strike bowler for the team. Picked up, balled in the slot, and the embankment does the fielding, but that ball clearing the rope by a mile. Nathan Mupere whips that one away. 6 runs. Pressure upon the bowler now. That starter in his run up, mechanics not being put to good use. You would expect a smooth run up all the way into the crease, but Mutwali be having that starter as he approaches the crease, and you feel that you would need to work on that. Inside edge there. They pick up runs to that. Good running in between the wickets. Turn a single into a double there. Swing and a miss there from Mupere, trying to go over long off. Leg buys as indicated by umpire Jacqueline Nampamu. They keep rotating strike, keep putting runs on board, and the 140 runs mark, which you would think is safe territory, but as usually sometimes have inspired days. It is not over. And a great comeback there from Mutwali. Picked up 3 wickets so far in his 3 overs. Conceded 22 runs, an economy of just above 7. 142 runs for the loss of 6 wickets after 18 overs. Adam Huzaifa 3 in 3. Nathan Mupere 11 in 9. Projected score being 158. 12 balls to work with. Eric Matov changes bowling ends. Clean balls. His counterpart, Huzaifa, that ball keeping low and rearranging Huzaifa's furniture. That ball well within the line of the stumps. Huzaifa trying to create room and swing for the heavens. Good wicket to boost the confidence of Mount Meru at this point in time. Mupere adds another run to the total, bringing Haddad Chibedu as the new man in. He just needs to pull his length back a bit, Eric Matovu, such that there is nothing to drive for the batters. Time to clean up the tail. Simple dafts there to pick up quick singles there. Shapes to play on the leg side. Mupere, his favored shot there. Leg by is indicated by the umpire. A much more quieter passage of play at this point in time of the innings. Saw some fireworks from Peter Ochen and Collins Okwalinga. Effort ball straying down to the leg side from Matovu. Should remain attacking the stumps and try to clean up the tail. Matovu Eric completes his 4-over spell, picks up 2 wickets, concedes 28 runs, and after 19 overs it is 151 for 7. One more over to play. Projected score being now 159. Mustafa Mutwalibi with the task of completing the bowling innings. Leading edge there, well caught. And that will be a wicket. 4th for Mustafa. Five balls to go to complete the Kilimanjaro batting innings. Powerfully struck to the man at point, and they pick up 1 run. Trying to push for a second one. Good work by Eddie Gamudola, coming off the boundary at third man. Keeps that to just a single. You'd feel that every additional run is a bonus to Mt.Kirimanjaro. Haddad Chiberu and Jovan Komagum, both 2 runs. And it is hit and run at the moment. Final ball of the over, and there for the innings. Pretty quiet over there from Mutwali. Does he pick up his fofa? Misses out. And that will be that for the first innings. 155 runs for the loss of 8 wickets for Kilimanjaro, who on the toss elected to bat first. Mustafa Mutwali be finishing with 4 for 26 in his 4 overs. A look at some of the highlights of the wickets picked up. As we await the batting card. We'll leave you with the highlights as we await the start of the second innings to determine who will walk away with victory in this contest between Mount Meru and Mount Kilimanjaro. My name is Solomon Luwama Chikovzi. Keep it deep end. The umpires are out in the middle there after that break as Mount Meru look to score 156 runs and 120 balls for victory. Mt.Kirimanjaro having a perfect record so far in this tournament. Played 4, won 4, hoping to make this the 5th victory on the trot for their side. Mount Meru standing in their way. We will be starting off from the highway end. And it is Collins Ossi Okwalinga, old man about town, tasked with that responsibility, able to swing that balls both ways. Mount Meru will need a very good power play, try and get to the 50 all 60 mark to be able to match one eye as well on the wicket column. But Edgar Mudola and Daniel Muhumuza. The opening opening pair here. And it is the first ball. Well beyond the tram lines from Collins Okwalinga. The first runs on board in this run chase. Edgar Mudola had a splendid innings yesterday, leading from the front as Mount Meru overcame Mount Satima in that 15-over game, winning by 7 runs. They will need more of the same. And the veteran making that ball talk early on. Very aggressive field. Only 2 people on the onside with fine leg and a wideish mid wicket. Everyone else packed onto the offside. Back over length, quick into the surface. Beautiful line there. And as customary to this oval, that every evening without fail, there is always that breeze that blows across the oval. If the bowlers can exploit those conditions, make that ball swing, slips in place, gully, point, cover point, covers, and mid off. Third man, of course, the boundary protector, and fine leg. Goes high up. That will land safe. Quick running in between the wickets. And the first runs of the bat for Edgar Mudola. Smart play there from Mudola, realizing the men on the ring, using the pace of the bowler to go aerial, and above that picks up a comfortable 2. Good running there. The batter doing some fielding there as the ball came in to run them out. Robert O'Willie chips in that dive, and before you know it, it is the final ball of the first over. Swing and a miss, planted his foot, but that ball too quick for Muhumuza. End of the first over, 4 runs on board. Muhumuza yet to get off the mark in the 2 balls that he has faced. Peter Ochen taking ball in hand. The starting captain from Mt.Kirimanjaro, coming in from his preferred forest end. Fine leg and third man customary to one who has some pace. Mid wicket and square leg in place as well. Mid off and mid on. Extra cover and cover point with point as well. Vacant slips region. That is wide. Indicated by umpire Reston Alumansi. Mahomes are turning onto that one, but unable to contact. But you see he's thinking, trying to go onto the onside. Plays well off his hips. Good pick up there from Huzaifa. That ball will fall safely in the gap. Good running from Edgar Mudola, going to the danger zone. And Muhumuza is finally off the mark, taking full use of the field restrictions. First boundaries of the second innings. A very wide third man, unable to keep that within the confines of the playing field. Using the pace of the bowler there, Muhumuza. Opportunity to catch, and that will be a brief stare from Daniel Muhumuza. Another failure to choke up in the books. Caught at mid-on by Kagera, Raymond Kagera. Safe hands there of the man. Didn't time that ball well. One 144 ball runs. I beg your pardon. 144 runs required in 110 balls. 12 for 1 after 1.4 overs. New man in will be Conrad Lubwama, the captain. A stellar performance from Peter Ochen with the bat. Just 4 short of a half century, 46 runs in 43 balls. Now picks up the first wicket of this second innings. Conrad Lubwama to face his first ball. And that is extremely wide. Another one for the extras column. Very good ball there from Ochen. Hits the deck hard. Some pace and bounce. Well left by Conrad Lubwama. Good backup there from Huzaifa. Great. Very good first opening over from Peter Chen, 1 for 10. After 2 it is 14 for 1. Opportunity for a catch. Boji Martin, safe as houses. The celebration there comes from Collins Osio Kalinga, getting rid of Edgar Mudola. Mentor versus Protege. The old man still has some juice left there in the tank. Shuffle to the offside. Does not get a clean hit there. Top edge to the man at point. Gets in line quickly, trying to play that ball on the onside rather than playing it inside out. Overcovers, results in catch by Boji Martin. Celebration time for Collins Okalinga. 17 for 2 after 2.4 overs. Mount Meru in all sorts of problems. But if they are to borrow a leaf from the first innings, quick wickets fell for Mount Kirimanjaro, but the mid-order coming in and consolidating the innings. Likavu Brian, Kenyan international, comes to the crease. It will be a battle of experience. Likavu against Okwalinga. This is the partnership that needs to bat and bat deep for Mount Meru. Has very great contact, perfect hand-eye coordination. Final ball of the second Okwalinga over. Full into the block hole. The pickup one. Likavu maintain strike.
Brian Likavu debuting in this tournament yesterday, and as soon as he came into the tournament, he announced his arrival. A half century, 69 runs, and 2 dismissals behind. He got off a player of match performance yesterday. He will be just hoping that he can continue that fine flow of form. He's normally a player for the Kenya Under-19, part of that team that played for Kenya Under-19 during the Under-19 World Cup qualifiers that happened in Nigeria last year, where Kenya had a very brilliant tournament, finishing third, right behind Namibia, and Tanzania being the top team in that tournament. But Peter Ochen is coming back for his second over. His first over went for 10 runs, and he picked up just a single wicket. And now the 2 experienced campaigners in that team, Mount Meru in Likavu Brian and Conrad Luwama, are currently at the crease, ready to make a mark. Off the pads there, and a single is taken. Peter Ochen trying to angle it in and not giving him a lot of room to flex.
Ochen has been right on the money from the word go. Bowling those good lines.
We'll be hoping he can continue bowling well. Oh, Ropes there coming in from Peter Ochen, and that ball just sails through. It is another dot ball there.
The middle order for Mount Meru certainly has to come to the party if they are to make this a contest. In similar situation to Mt.Kirimanjaro, tried Conrad Luwama tried to pull that one, mistimes it, but they pick up a run there. Concussion tests being performed by the umpire. Player safety is paramount, but Luwama seemingly fine.
Yeah, the umpire making sure that the batter is really very, very fine to continue. 1 of 3 for Likavu Brian and 3 of 6 for Conrad Luwama. They need more 136 balls with 99 balls, and given the way they batted yesterday, the 15 reduced match, they can really make sure that the team goes through and picks up this win. And you feel that somehow they might have missed something in their batting lineup, because Likavu is so good hitting the power play. So bring him in early to capitalize on the poor field. But now he's coming when 2 wickets have already fallen. So in his mind, he's now thinking of rebuilding. But if he had come early, maybe he could have gotten out of the blocks early.
Yes, indeed. This time opting for Daniel Muhumuza to open the batting. You feel that he should have come in either number 1 or 3, but that making no difference as is now at the crest. So some work to do, some more overs to play in the power play. But I understand your point that when somebody comes in and doesn't have to rebuild but just play his innings, a lot is not at stake. They can pace themselves and also play to their own tempo. But another one to tot up for the extra column from Peter Ochen. You feel that Conrad Lubwama is a little bit patient. 2 quick wickets falling.
Finding the placement again, and they do take the run. Good work there being done by these 2 batters, Nikafu Brown and Conrad Wama. And I tell you, at a time when Uganda and Kenya were both at that under-19 World Cup qualifier in Nigeria last year, Lagos to be specific, Conrad Wama was playing for Uganda, whereas Brian Nikafu was playing for Kenya. They also played in one of the tournaments which was played in Jinja, Kenya coming down to visit Uganda. And many people will be fancying and hoping that these 2 could see Mount Meru cross the line. Final ball of the over, a bit of a dig edged up from Brian Likavu's blade, but he middles the ball. Every time he gets bat to ball, he takes the run. End of over, 24 for 2 is the score after 4 overs. That is the dugout there for Mount Meru. Athamuaga, one of those people that they will be looking forward to make sure that he gets the runs. It is match day 7 of the Safari T20. And looking at the fixtures tomorrow, Mount Satima and Mount Karisimbi will be in the action in the morning, whereas Mount Elgon and Mount Kilimanjaro will be playing in the afternoon. Starts off with a wide there, Adamu Zaifa not managing to keep it right in his farm lines. And it is wides there onto the total.
Great work from Ochen and Okwalinga. Huzaifa just needs to build onto that. Get the lines quickly. Quick single there in the middle.
Tries to go, but he gets it into the surface. Good bowling there from the bowler, but there is a no ball call coming in from the umpire. An overstepping no ball there. Adamu Zaif, and it is Conrad Ruama right on strike.
We've spoken about the consistency of Zaifa, or is generous with those no balls.
Yeah, now it is the free hit. Power, but straight to the fielder there. Okema down on the ground, cutting that one off very nicely. And they will only take a single, but you saw the attitude and approach there from Conrad Ruama going hard at it. They're playing a calm innings. You'd feel that they are milking their runs and growing into the game. Because wickets are fine, they are now rebuilding, but they need more 128 in 93 balls. So they'll need to pick some boundaries as we come towards the end of the power play. Straight to the fielder. Good work there by Nathan Mopera, and it is a dot ball. Zaifa, with the exception of the wide and the no ball, the two singles, this over is a fine one. If you a bowler and you can go less than 6 and over in T20, it means you would have done brilliantly well. Yesterday we saw the Sunrisers Hyderabad joining Gujarat Titans in the playoffs of the Indian Premier League, and today we saw the Board of Cricket Control in India announcing the team that will be playing a test match against Afghanistan not so many days from now. It will be next month. Shubman Gill being that captain. That is hit. Picks up the length very nicely there, Branley Kavu, and he manages to get it to the boundary. Fine looking shot there. Wrap up the over. Fine over there, a fine ball, a fine shot to end the over. I speak about the Indian squad that is going to play that test match. Shubman Gill being the captain, Yashas Vijay Swal, KL Rahul, Sai Sudarasani, Rishabh Pant, Devdutt Padikkar, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav, Muhammad Siraj, Prasid Krishna, Manav Sutta, Ghana Bral, Hash Dube, and Dhruv Jurel. One of the gatekeeping options. Then the ODI squad will also be led by Shubman Gill, but we'll be saying Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, Ishan Kishani, Hardik Pandya, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Washington Sundar, Kuldeep Yadav, Ashdeep Singh, Prasid Krishna, Prince Yadav, Ghana Bral, and Hash Dube. Saying the players who are having a star will be subjected to fitness, and that is the two Mumbai Indian players, Rohit Sharma and Hardik Pandya. But it will be an interesting tournament there yet to come up.
Lots of cricket being played. Of course, the IPL ongoing, almost at the business end now. First look of Okema coming from the forest end. Luwama gets off strike.
Yeah, now Julius Okema being the bowling change coming into the attack. He comes to replace Peter Ochen, who has been steaming in from that end. Down on one knee and hits it into the gap. Branley Kavu enjoys full balls and he brings up another boundary there.
Angling that ball in, but guiding it well via cow corner for another boundary. Pacing his innings, you would feel Goes inside out. Opportunity to catch. They don't drop those. Emma Okwalinga. I beg your pardon. Collins Okwalinga looked like his feet were stuck in mud. But when he started moving, got to that ball.
Great anticipation there on display by Collins Okwalinga, one of the experienced campaigners in that team. And he's getting a very, very big wicket there. Brian Lekav, you don't want him to get going. Somehow he sliced it with his blade. And that catch being taken in the deep there by Okwalinga. Look at the way he aligns himself. Takes the catch and the celebration says it all. It is the third wicket that goes. Brian Lekav today managing to contribute only 12. And now they will believe and know that they can still peck back and get something from this match.
Trying to play inside out, but only manages to find the only person on the boundary. Dozens Collins Osio Kalinga. A celebration of the salute coming out. And you feel that Mount Meru are in deep trouble. But they need to keep batting, need to keep rotating strike. Missing the experienced Eric Mukisa away. Gone for that camp, under 19 training camp. Hamid Munigwa as well. They've used this tournament as testers and should stand them in good stead. Okema will continue. Well placed there. And that ball should cross the line. 4 more. Mustafa Mutwali be off the mark.
It didn't really look like a shot that would have gone all the way to the boundary. But Mustafa Mutwali making it count. Look at it. The good placement. It could have been saved there by Nathan Mopere. But Nathan Mopere not chipping in that timely dive. And it rolls all the way to the boundary. And now he comes and compensates with a wide. Rocks on the back foot but still finds the fielder. It is another dotty ball. Good bowling there from Julius Okema.
A fine over there from Julius Okema, going for 10 but picking up 1. And the vital wicket of Brian Lekavu, 42 for 3 after 6 overs. 114 runs required in 84 balls. Conrad Lubuama 6 in 11. Mustafa Majid 4 in 3. It is not yet over for this Mount Meru side as we saw them yesterday construct a good innings. Umpire indicates the end of the power play.
And it has been a good power play if you look at it in terms of runs, getting 43 inside the power play. The other team was slightly above 50, but they are still within 114 more in 84 needed. But now the only issue with them is that they have not taken care of the wickets column. They'll be hoping that Conrad Lubuama can get out of his blocks and see them cross the line.
He's been middling that ball but only managing to find their fielders at cover and long off. Hope he does not get frustrated, tries to play or do too many things all at once. The appeal comes in.
Yeah, it looked like a close call there. wait to see what the umpires, when they do converge, what they do discuss. But they are calling the ball. As a batter, you would be knowing that it is time for you to be making that long walk. But you'll have to wait and see what the decision will be. The bat was close to the pad. In other tournaments, you would see a review being upheld. Conrad Wamorede walking off, but that's the replay there. Shuffled across the stumps. The bat is very close to the ball. And you could clearly see that maybe there must have been something.
Of course, there was a sound, bat being close to the ball. That angle now clearly showing no contact whatsoever. But we have the benefit of replays. Unlike the umpire, there was a sound and that ball looked very, very close.
And actually now when there is a sound and the bat is close to the pad and the ball, it really puts an umpire in a position, given the fact he even shuffled. And you see a timely appeal there coming in from Robert Owili. Conrad Wama eventually making that long walk. But you look at it, he says it was from the pads, but the umpire says no. I
Clearly
saw something there happening. You look at the dejection on his face there, he's unhappy because he feels he has not really helped his team to try and carry the game forward.
controversial, yes, that decision, but umpire's call being upheld. On the replays, you will have the benefit of looking at it in slow motion, but this, bear in mind that this was happening in real time. (42 for 4 after 6.2 overs. Adam Huzaifa picking up his first wicket of his second ball of his second over. And it is a comedy of errors. Eric Matovu coming and going, not staying in his crease, with the ball not dead. Unbelievable, the collapse now from that ball kicking off the turf. Huzaifa picks up that ball. Look at him runs him out quickly. Umpire left with no choice but to lift that finger. Matovu departs without troubling the scorers, and you will feel that there needs to become heads in the dugout of Mount Meru. Make a match out of this. Andrew Ashraf Hajaguju Nasul Damadi, the new man, right off the mark there. 5 more wickets to get for Mt.Kirimanjaro. No ball there. Another extra from Adam Huzaifa. Second is bowled so far. Mutwalibi Mustafa, opportunity to free his arms, put some runs on board for the team. That will be 4 wides. Those extras always taint the figures for Adam Huzaifa. Dead bat offered by Mutwalib. Final ball from a very action-packed over from Adam Huzaifa. Another wide there. Very generous bowling from Huzaifa. Final ball. Balls it quick and wide. After 7, it is 51 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. It is not the runs column that will bother Mount Meru that much, but rather the wickets column. $105 runs required in 78 balls, and you feel that this game is moving away from the grasp of Mount Meru. But Richard, Julius Okema will continue from the forest end, and you feel that they should pick an over or two that they should target, make some 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 runs, keep the scoreboard ticking, run well. And they will be back in business. But right now, the stranglehold on the batting of Mount Meru. Opportunity to catch, slip from Peter Ochen. Batter guilty of pushing to that ball, going forward, planting his foot, the ball not coming. And when it does, he pushes to it. Sliced there. And they pick up 2. Slower there. A ball moving out across the body of the batter. Stamping completed by Roberto Willie. And a collapse of massive proportions for Mount Meru. Another one bites the dust. Should be 6 down now after 7.4. Another look at that. Quick hands there. Nothing behind there. Good work by the glove man. A dejected dugout there with the runs back in that hut. Lubwama, Likavu, Mudola had paper out there for the men in yellow. Very good first ball. Two dot balls to mark the end of Okema's first or second over, I beg your pardon. Has conceded 12 so far, picked up 1. But the end of 8 overs, 53 for the loss of 6.
Picking up the 6 wickets has really made sure that it brings them back in the game. Still more 103 runs to get in 72 balls, still gettable, but it will take them to bat out of the blocks. Okema bowling 2 overs and picking up just a single wicket, but making sure that he doesn't go for many. He's only conceded 12 so far. And now we will be seeing Austin Mujuni coming into the attack. Austin Mujuni's cricket has greatly improved of late. He was bowling some good pace, but this time round he can even contribute with the bat. The product of Nyakasura School, really set and ready to shine on the big stage.
Much of the damage having been already done, but every time Mujuni comes in, his pivotal breaking partnerships, 4 wickets to pick up, and that will be that. And you feel that the upper hand lies with the men in cream and red, Mt.Kirimanjaro. Starts off his spell with 1 for the extras column, able to swing that ball both ways in the slot to Handru Hagujugu, finally off the mark. And in such games, what I expect from the remaining batter is to see out the remaining overs, try to bat deep, get as many runs that you can. Swing and a miss there. Ball comes in quick to Damadi.
Yeah, good start to his over there. What could have been a dot ball will be a single. Ashraf Ajuguju getting on top of its bounce and managing to place it into the gap. But it will take them a little more batting. The current run rate is 6 and required is 8, so you don't need to let it go above 10. You need to make sure that you keep it a little manageable. And if they could be targeting an over and they at least pick a boundary, they will stand a very big chance. But now Nasul Damadi with 2 of 3 and the Hajuguju Andrew with 1 of 4, the 2 batters at the crease for Mount Meru. Beaten by the pace, and it is a dot ball.
Good work there from Mujuni. That ball kicking off the turf, surprising the batter who had gone forward, but also not helping matters, not getting his bat and ball behind the line of the ball. That ball coming over the shoulder of Nathan Mupere. Pick up a valuable 2 runs.
That was a very poor throw there coming in from Nathan Mupere. Somehow he was cautious, trying not to overthrow it. And in the end, 2 runs are taken comfortably And you see when they do take the 2 runs, it means they are showing some bit of urgency. So they need to make sure that they keep pushing hard for these doubles. Good express pace there from Austin Mujudi to bring the end to his over. Only 5 runs in this over, and 58 for 6 is the score after 9 overs. More 98 needed in 66 balls.
Julius Okema into his 3rd over. But this time straying wide. Quick running there from Nasul Damadi to make his ground. Great glove rack there from Robert Owidi. Damadi realizing he's going into the danger end, chipping in that dive. Good pick up there. Well in already. Great work all round.
Yeah, some athleticism there being displayed by Robert Owili. He loves the gloves, and when he's behind there, he's always a busybody. But US Okema there coming for his 3rd over. He's going for 14 runs, and he's picked up just a single wicket so far. Trying to drift it away from the bat, and it is a wide call there from the umpire. (96 in 64). A few hits here and there, I could see them get out of this. Trying to work it round the pass, but shuffling across the stumps, and it is given by the umpire. Trying to go innovative, Nasul Damadi, but in the end, he loses his wicket.
Julius Okema doing the damage. Nasul Damadi having to depart. Adjudge LBW turning to one that is straight. That ball striking his back foot well within the line of stumps. Trying to pull it there, but that ball was for driving, all playing forward.
And out of nothing, they do pick up another wicket. And we see Muaga Arthur making his way to the crease. 61 for 7. Current run rate 6. Required 9. You feel that they were getting the runs and they were keeping close. The biggest problem has been not taking care of the wicket column, and now wickets tumbling in very, very quick fashion. Julius Okema has picked up 2 wickets and is going for 15 in his 2.3. 3 more balls remaining for this Julius Okema over, the 10th in this game.
With the arrival of Brian Likavu, you would have thought that the batting lineup for Mount Meru was strengthened, but failing on this occasion to stick to the wicket.
I told you something that they did miss is that Brandley Cover would have opened with either Conrad Luwama or someone else in the dugout like Edgar Mdola. So that if his wicket falls early, there is rebuilding that can be done. He is also be a good player of the power play, so you need to get him early to try and make sure that he gets for you the runs. So by the time we came, 2 wickets had already fallen. It means there was supposed to be a rebuilding job. Then we saw the controversial decision that saw Luwama out. We saw how one of the players forgot to stick in his crease. All this happening today, you could somehow feel that it wasn't just their day, and a lot of good work has been done by Mt.Kirimanjaro in this game. Their batting struggled a bit in the start, but in the end they have wrapped off the innings very nicely, and they have made sure that they keep punching back. So it's really a game that could have gone in any direction.
Well stated, Ivan, but quite lazy there from Andrew. Should be playing straight, but at the end of 10 overs, halfway point of the second inning, 6-2 for the loss of 7. 3 more wickets to pick for Mount Kilimanjaro. 94 runs required in 60 balls for the opposition.
Two off 7, Hajugudu Andrew. 1 off 2, Arthur Mwaga. 94 in 60 balls, exactly 10 overs remaining, and Austin Mujiri back in the attack. Really hit some good hard line and length in his first over, and now he returns for his second. We'll be looking forward to bowling some express pace. Even if you're just 5 runs in the first over, and in the T20 game, if you're going for below 6 every over, it means you're really bowling brilliantly well. Starts off with a wide down the leg there,
And hope the batter is aware that the glove man is now standing up to Mujuni. Any mistake to stray beyond the crease, will he see him being stumped? Good work there.
Making adjustments for the wide and just bowling it outside off stump. Mwaga Arthur slicing on his bat instead of getting to the top of the ball and driving it through, or waiting to cut it away. A little rushing in that shot. Fine leg and third man all at the boundary. No chances being taken. Extra cover and all the rest of the other fielders right, because they know Arthur Mwaga might go for a skyer. Gets it into the surface. The ball has been tracking Nathan Mopere this entire innings, and the Sengo is taken. (92 in 57), the current equation for the victory to go the way of Mount Meru. Mount Meru in their very first game of this one, and they fell short by just 1 run. Wicket beaten by the bounce off the surface, trying to go backwards on the back foot. The ball rolling through and uprooting the middle stump. It is the 8th wicket that goes for Mount Meru.
Ball back over length, coming back in rather than going forward, taking evasive action towards the leg side. That ball was right in the stumps. Good work there from Mujuni. Puts Andrew out of his misery.
Yeah, Yeah, Shiraf Andrew there. It didn't look like a fine looking shot when you saw it from the frame. And that's how he fell. 8 have gone and 2 more to pick here by Mt.Kirimanjaro for the victory to go their way. They have really done brilliant well. They got runs on board and now they are starting to challenge the opposition, making sure that they do bowl them out.
Mount Kilimanjaro hoping to maintain their perfect record. Should they win this encounter, will have played 5-1-5. Mount Meru coming off that exciting win over their rivals Satima, avenging for that run loss. I think even with that win, that match will still be a missed opportunity by Meru, who should be with about 4 wins now in this tournament.
And I tell you, speaking about those 3 games, those 3 teams, Mount Meru, Mount Satima, and the Mount Kilimanjaro, they are the teams that look to be having very, very balanced squads. Joseph Waswa is the new batter in, hiding his bat. The way he poses his stance, the bat is right behind him. For the ball which will be nipping back or keeping low, it might be very hard for him to get out of the block hole. It open with a somehow open blade so that you can swing through the line. But it is a dot ball and 1 more to play in this over by Austin Mujuni. And you feel that the lights are dimming out for Mount Meru. They will be hoping that they can come back and bounce strong to pick up victory. But now that has been the issue there with Austin Mujuni, overcompensating, and it's wide down the leg.
Bowling to the tail should be you attacking the stumps. I would even put a slip or another into place. Attack those wickets, have covers in, try to finish this game off.
That's
An opportunity to run, but not taken. With runs had to come by.
It was an inside edge, and now you see for Arthur Mwaga, he was thinking that he can hog the strike in this over. And as we've come to the end of over number 11, 65 for 8 is the score.
"91 runs required in 54 balls." And it looks like Okema will bowl his full allotted. Muagwa lines that one up well. Misfield there with a man sliding on his knee. But they pick up 2.
Yeah, they will be looking forward to making sure that they milk as many as they can to get close, because net run rate comes into play in the tournament. So you need to make sure that you're getting the runs and getting close. Kamuaga 4 off 6. He looks to be comfortable playing spin. And now for Wakema, he's been bowling those weights outside leg stump instead of keeping the batters playing. Every time they play, you get a very big chance of picking up that wicket. The wickets are in play, edges come, LBWs, catches can be it. You don't need to keep it outside for the lower order batters. Plays it up in the air, and there is a waiting fielder. Peter Ochen gets that catch, and it is the 9th wicket that goes for Mount Meru.
Standing out to be a brilliant spell for Julius Okema. That ball skied by Mwaga, and you will realize that his feet were way away from that ball, but swinging his arms through. Of course, with no weight transfer, that ball cannot stay down. Peter Ochen doing the good work there, completing that catch of a from Mwaga. 1 more wicket to pick up for Mt.Kirimanjaro in what looked to be a very good game. You expected a better contest than what we have witnessed so far, Ivan.
Indeed, Solomon. And now wickets are tumbling and tumbling very, very quickly. But now the final wicket is in. Not sure how many more they can add from here on. Sokema already having 3 wickets and remaining with 4 more deliveries to wrap up his spell. It is Timothy Matovu, the lefty, who walks on, and now it is the contest of the lefty. Even Okamabat's left, so it will be interesting to see how this one shapes out. Timothy Matovu, one of the sons to the chairman of Mukono Cricket Community, Simon Chintu, right in. Now you see the fielders coming a little closer because this is the final wicket. Because the left-handed batter, they only have one fielder right at the boundary towards deep mid wicket, and you see long off up. Long on is also up a few feet off the boundary.
You would feel that Okema is trying so much with the last man. They are trying to induce caught behind.
That's a much better ball there. Get it back into the batter. It just got off the outside edge of that blade of Matovu. He's really failing to get out of his blocks. There is an appeal, but not given by the umpire. A shake of the head.
Matovu yet to use his bat.
He's been getting himself going across the line. But talking about tomorrow's fixtures, Mount Satim and Mount Karisimbi will be in action in the morning. Then Eligon and Kilimanjaro will be here in the afternoon squaring off on what will be match the number 8 of the East African Safari T20. Hit up in the air, should be a dolly catch. Oh, not taken. Peter Ochen blaming it on the sun, but that's a bit sloppy there from him. Okay, there was a chance for them to wrap up the match, but the match will continue. 87 in 48. 12 overs gone, and 69 for 9 is what Mount Meru has on board. Actually, given the batting lineup of Mount Meru, Edgar Mdola, Likav Bryan, Conrad Luwama, Matov Eric, Daniel Holmes, I would feel that coming to challenge that chase of 156, they are going to put up something, to put up a very nice show, but they are really not mature to the party. And now it will be Austin Mujuni coming to bowl from the highway end.
Yes, plenty of batting in that lineup, and you cannot accuse them of not reading the plan and going haywire from the word go. But you feel that Muhumuza's wicket, I think, which was the first, trying to pull a ball which is meant to be driven, and then Likavu coming in, finding the waiting hands of the fielder, sucked runs out of this innings.
Yeah, good work, good idea there from Austin Mujuni, bowling express pace outside off stump to make sure that you keep the edges of the bat in play. Third man a few feet off the boundary, as well as fine leg. And extra cover is right at the boundary because he's bowling outside off stump, so you need to make sure there is protection. When you're strangling, don't give them a chance to even think they were close.
Mujuni finding it difficult because the young man has covered all his stumps and he has dared him. Either you darting into my pads or find my bat. He's been playing and missing to the ones on the 4th and 5th stump line. and you feel that Mount Meru is now playing for a moral victory. Thick outside edge there, and one will be added to the total.
Now it will be the left-handed Matov Timothy, right, taking his guard. A quiet passage of play. The game dragging on longer than it would have, because you feel that one more wicket here would have even been gotten in the previous over, but Peter Ochen blaming it on the sun for not going forward, pick up that catch. Austin will be continuing right arm over for the left-handed batter. Typical left-handed shot into the gap, but no awareness. Joseph was finding himself there, just organizing his gear. In the end, they tried to sneak for the run, and it is a run out there. Brilliant throw coming in, and Robert Oweli getting the dismissal, and he manages to wrap up the innings. A comedy of errors, low awareness, and it is game, set and match here. An 85 runs victory. And this is the comedy ball into the pads, hit backward of the square. The fielder there running in, chipping it to bring it. But you see the awareness. He was miles away. He was out trying to organize his gear. But only doing the work of removing those balls. And in the end, it is a victory. Tomorrow, action continues. Mount Satima, Mount Kirimanjaro in the morning. Kilimanjaro, Meru. They've really made a very good work there. Good display with the bat, good display with the ball to make sure that they wrap up this match in no quick time. They do win this match by 85 runs. My name is Evan Tukran Sajabi, but let's first look at that match summary before we sign out. Peter Ocheny's 47 or 48 has been very, very fruitful for the side. He was the standing captain for Kilimanjaro, wanted to do something to bat first. And in the end, his side winning by those 85 runs. And the point table, the standings there. Mount Kilimanjaro has played 4 games and won all their games, on top of the table, unbeaten. As I said, I'm Evan Tukran Sajabi. I'll coming at you shortly with the post-match presentation. And I've been here with Solomon Luwamachigozi. So don't go anywhere, because action will be continuing and coming your way